Good evening, good people. It is time for the final class of the 2024 Duck Boot Camp. I am Saracen, joined in the booth by our guest runner tonight, Shumbabi. Shum, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
You know, it's been a week already. Let's put it that way. But we are here. We're here for the very exciting Nova World.
Quite possibly my favorite. I'm sorry, I needed to jump in there. It is one of my favorites to run, so I'm super pleased to be here.
Well, I mean, that's why I asked you, because I knew it was your favorite. So, with the Nova World, we got the hype in the chat already. This has been one that I've been looking forward to, and as I've been playing these flags, I found them to be really fun and invigorating. This is kind of a different kind of puzzle. So let's go on through, talk about our flags here tonight. So we have a short Topher with all the Fiendry fights. I figure after puzzling good, there's no reason to subject you to the long Topher. It's kind of our victory lap, right? We're here to have fun and try out something a little bit odd. So that's there's no reason to belabor the end game. We're going to do the puzzles and then we're just going to finish this off.
Well, as a runner, I personally appreciate that. In the context of Nova World, it would be really scary if Canaria had such a deep basement. But we'll see what that looks like in a sec.
It's true. All right, on to our difficulty and scaling. There's nothing super, call out here other than an overworld encounter rate that doesn't matter. We've kept the scalings at what's basically been the standard throughout the boot camp. Yeah, nothing new there. Incentive locations and items, we have a dud, which is always an interesting experience, and Shum just called me out on it a couple minutes ago. Shum, how you feel about that dud?
I'm going to forget that it exists, and I'm going to be like, wait a second, 30 gold from this thing? And then I was like, oh yes, of course. But yeah, it happens. Nova World has some quirks about it, so
yeah,
we just deal.
So an important call out in Nova World is that we don't have quite as many key items as normal. You see, we don't get a bridge, which makes sense. We don't have an overworld to put a bridge on. But we replace effectively the floater and the canoe with the mark and the sigil. And that creates some interesting changes to the routing because we're adding, stairs where there weren't stairs before and all of that. But that means that there's not really an analog for the ship. And that's why there's just sort of not a location there. But call out here, it's all vanilla box locations. I didn't feel like making you go after a random box when we're already going to be doing some interesting exploration. So on to the next section. Hey, guess what? The game mode in Overworld is no Overworld. Maps and routing. Amazingly, we've got a bunch of stuff turned on here, which, including confused old men, because, sometimes we just want to unglue some old men.
That was the one flag that I saw that I was like, really? Because in order to get to certain locations, you're going to have to walk through the old men, and then it's just like a minefield. So hopefully I could avoid them.
It's all just for entertainment. It's fine. Nothing really going on in our treasures and freebies, which is fine. Shops and magic is pretty much mostly the same, except for that power word threshold, where we're going to have 600 HP as our threshold. That does some interesting things. You get, like, Quad X is very powerful all of a sudden. Even spells that you might not use, like Stun, very good suddenly, because 600 is just that much strong. 300? On we go. So we have a patrolling war mech. That, deterministic mechan is always appreciated, I think. Otherwise, not a whole heck of a lot going on. Now, party composition, we are going to have 2 forced characters. Our first slot will be a forced melee at random. Our fourth slot will be a forced mage at random. And then you get to pick 2 in the middle. On to our blursings. We have the standard, I think, relatively standard, have the BB crit rate. We've got the improved harm for white mage. No lock picking because the key is remarkably important in the Nova World map setup. And I'm sure we're going to see that throughout the course of the run.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get an early one because it does literally and figuratively open a lot of doors for you in the sense that it takes you to across zones. Like Nova World clusters a lot of the things together, and so the key is kind of your portal to get past that.
Absolutely. Now we do have a random AoE caster item, but more notably to go with that, we also have all weapons cast spells in a randomized item magic pool. Additionally, and this is super important because we don't have the ability to, go outside, we can't touch grass, we don't get tents or cabins or houses. We have ethers, dry ethers, and X ethers, which will restore spell slots, and they are usable like potions. Infinite sustain. That's what I call that. Our equipment is also a little bit stronger than normal. We've had a lot of -3 to +5. We're going to be at -2 to +6 here, and the elemental damage bonus is kicked up to 40. So we're going to swing a little harder. Lastly, most important, I think, to certain strategies, we've got save game when game over. So this is a very different mode of play. I did not want this to be one that was excessively frustrating if the routing decided to be weird. So we're going to have save game when game over, and that allows us, some strategic warping tricks as well. But I think that about covers it as far as our flags. Shum, did you have any final thoughts before we get into the run itself?
No, I'm glad we did this flag overview because I didn't realize that save on game over was available. It's going to be interesting to see if I'm going to actually have to make use of that or not, because I have this white mage with teleport magic, so that's going to be also a lot of fun to play with. But yeah, on the whole, this seems like it should be a very pleasant experience, just at a glance. The frustration, I think, with Nova World comes from people's lack of familiarity with it, but hopefully you'll see that it's not really too outrageous, and everything is kind of placed in a way that should make sense. So as long as I don't forget anything, I think we're good to go.
I've been playing Seeds of this all week, so, I know how to hint you in certain directions.
Sure.
But yeah, if you're ready, I'm ready. You want to count us in?
Sure. I will be going in 3, 2, 1, now. All right. So we start at Canaria Castle because we don't have an overworld, but you'll notice that this extra staircase down here takes us back to the town. So with the all weapons casting magic, this is definitely my first stop. I don't see anything super necessary. I guess maybe I'll come back for that heal. 68 gold. Maybe I'll just buy that now, just in case.
That ruse knife is actually kind of compelling later.
I looked at that. If I can't find a ruse weapon in general, definitely going to take that. All right, so we got ourselves Invis 2 and Fade. Putting Fade in slot 1, of course. I'm not going to take stop. There's no way I'm doing that.
We do have hint givers on, so the blacksmith is hiding the chime. All That's right. A very interesting hint because of how the chime operates in Nova World. Specifically, the chime opens a path from Gaia to Mirage Tower.
Also, some quirkiness about Nova World is that your towns are very restricted. You know what? Let me just save real quick because I don't have any tents, and I'm used to doing that. So we'll reset out, and we wind right back out at the inn. So that's a helpful. You don't always go back to Canaria Castle when you do a save at an inn, so that way you can respawn back where you intend to be. Right. Would you like me to cover what the map looks like right now, or just sort of go through the game as I would?
Just go through the game, and we'll explore together. So there are added stairs in a couple of places, and the most notable ones in Canaria Castle are that little room on the bottom right corner has a new stairwell in it, and there's one in just north of the stairwell that Shum went into. The sigil and the TNT both open up very interesting things.
Yeah, this is actually... I'm going to do something a little weird at this point because of that sigil. So, Canaria has a link to everybody's favorite and most obvious location. The waterfall? I don't know where the stairs are here, right? They're randomly placed, I think.
There are 2 randomly placed stairs within the waterfall, yes.
Oh, this is an uncomfortable fight. No, I don't want that. Oh, I forgot save on game over is the thing. But it doesn't really matter. Try that one more time.
Important call out here as well is that the sigil opens up locations that have those orbs over them. And there are a couple in the game. This is like the first one that you're likely to see. But the places they open up are very important. The mark tends to open up more things, but the sigil opens up some very key locations. That was a very nice Ghasty you fought there.
Yeah, I just wanted a quick couple of levels. Make a little bit safer runs here. Ah, shop.
Ooh, so the Oasis vendor hides out in a shop in a stairwell. And I can't remember if those are randomized as far as the cardias.
The caravan could appear here. Sorry, give me one sec. Could appear there. Could appear at the end of Ice Cave. Or in the corner of Gaia.
The cube is a very interesting find as well. So the cube is required in this flag set. However, one thing I will say is not everything is as required as you might otherwise think. And by that I mean you could theoretically not have the chime or the oxyale and still be able to complete both sea and sky. Very interesting.
Absolutely did not mean to grab that treasure chest. Just overstepped that visit to Matoya's cave.
Ooh, that's a nice pro rank.
It is, if I were inclined to open my menu.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Provoca got shuffled a little bit. Just a little.
Oh, that's right.
You know, sometimes we have fun with maps.
Every time is a fun time with you. Going through the motions.
Yeah. The other thing I'll note is the incentive item. Ooh, the mark already.
That's huge.
That is huge. The way that this is going to all pan out is we're going to see a lot of incentive items come remarkably fast, I think. Because that's just sort of how Noverworld works. The not having to walk around the overworld speeds up the game a lot.
Yeah.
Ruby is a very big call out as well. That's a very important connector. And we check every weapon shop. I really want that to be a saber, and I just can't know.
No idea. Let's see, which one's better? 1916 Saber.
It is a saber.
That's wild.
That's amazing. Right. I love it.
Give you some ice too. Armor doesn't cast magic in this, correct?
No, it doesn't.
All right.
Gold bracelets are there, I guess.
I'm probably going to need a lot of these.
Yep. So dry ethers cover spell slots 1 through 4, if I remember right.
Yes.
So when you use it, you will get 1 spell slot back of each of those levels. And here's where Shum starts the hacks.
Do you want me to explain that one?
Yes, please.
Okay. So the way that, well, if I have exit, I could have just exited back to the main stage in general, because exit doesn't have an overworld to take you to, so it treats the castle as the overworld. But if you find yourself in a position where you don't have both warp and exit, but you need to access the castle as if it were an exit, saving at an inn and then doing a reset resets what map you're on, as far as like you can think of maps as being on a stack. So like every level you go down, you add 1 more layer. And so when you reset the game, you're back to layer 0. So you try to warp and the game says, but you didn't come from anywhere. And it brings you back to the castle. So it's a really quick way to get back to your start location if you have places that you need to be. Yeah, Chanigan found that out while we were doing practice for Fall League.
It's a remarkable find. All right. So, checking every weapon shop.
Oh my goodness. So, I didn't really want to be here. My having the mark and the sigil put me in that position of like when you get a floater at 3 minutes and you go, I have the whole world open to me. What do I do? But Crescent Lake sounds like an okay spot to be, and it sets me up for my first fiend. So I'm gonna take out Carrie, I think. I don't even know how many slots I have at this point.
Who cares?
I'm gonna forget about them later.
The other important thing to keep in mind, and this is one of those interesting interactions that happens when you have the all weapons cast spells and a random AoE starter, you should always check the stats on that starter item to find out what it is.
Oh, that's fair.
And
what was that, the Ice Hammer?
Yeah, it was the Ice Hammer, which is probably the Thor hammer.
Thanks, buddy.
We'll find the right one someday.
There we go.
The reason that you want to check is that... Oh, that's important knowledge. You want to check specifically because you can get one of the legendary weapons at the start of the game. Because it could have rolled an AoE spell and suddenly you have a random AoE item.
I think Volcano is the only Fiend dungeon you didn't incentivize.
Correct.
Cool. So here's hoping I make it through.
Well,
that Ruse Dagger would have been real nice.
Yeah, right. I mean, you're just going to have to hold up nuke sticks until she falls over, I think.
One hopes that that'll be enough.
I mean, it can't be that bad. The other thing to keep in mind is that your dry ethers and ethers are really strong when you have low-level healing magic. That is the single biggest use case of your spell slots in this mode sometimes.
At some point, I will actually hit the white mage who has the spells.
You hope.
Yeah, ethers are like a heal pot. It's weird in how they set you back up, but you'll get used to the button presses. All right, let's see what we can do here. looks like it should be enough. There we go.
Hooray!
Behind Cardia treasure rooms, behind most of the fiends, Tiamat actually has a whatchamacallit. Why can't I think of the name? Didn't mean to full exit there either. Tiamat just has a single treasure chest behind her.
Yep. The behind the air orb is the only place in a fiend dungeon that doesn't have a staircase afterward.
So I did mean to go back to Crescent there, but I didn't have enough warp charges.
It's okay. It's not that hard to walk it.
Should probably also pick up the free item on the other side. The TNT Dwarf not having a canal here, but blocking off two really major routes. The one being Crescent Lake, the other being Sarda. So Sarda has a lot of access as well.
It would be super cool if you found the rod here. Dang it.
Oh, yikes. Guess I'm going to have to go towards Onrak, which is actually where I was intending to be anyway, based on knowing that we had Volcano.
Yeah, so there is an interesting chain of teleporters available, or stairs, or however you want to think of them. But Crescent Lake getting you into Volcano has a connection in it on the armory floor.
You know what I'm going to do, actually? Apologies. I want to make sure that I have a save spot here.
That's a good call.
In case something goes wrong.
That is a very good call. Just save the extra steps. Thinking about that with your save when game over turned on is also helpful.
Yeah, so much of the brain space in No Overworld is being taken up by like the new routing decisions that you have to make, that you forget some of like the baseline play that you have to do just to be successful. So it's helpful to slow down a little bit and just consider your moves as you get to the new maps. Ah,
that's nice.
That is nice.
Now the real pain is having to walk all the way down to find out if Bahamut's at the end of this. So there is a Cardia exit at the end of Ice. The normal Ice exit, However, there's an additional hole, I guess?
Yeah, it's an odd teleport hole.
Yep. Because there wasn't enough of a paradox in here already, so you get an extra paradox.
Alright. Is this incentivized, though? It is not. Alright, well, I'm going to loot it while I'm here anyway. Let's see what we get. Maybe I get my X for hammer. My quad X stick. Alas.
A little experience, little money, it's fine.
Alright. What is the best way of doing this? I guess I take the hole back.
You take the hole back and, yeah. And then it's fine.
And then we go back up, or down, as it were.
So, a thing that you will learn in the course of Noverworld is how to walk floors backwards.
I was honestly surprised that you didn't put on flip. I was very much expecting that.
Again, I want people to like this flag.
I mean, that's part of why I like it, but okay.
But with the extra stairs / teleporters throughout the Noverworld experience, that means that sometimes you end up in interesting places.
What is this room over here? What could that possibly be? Actually, I'm not going to step into it just yet, because
it's a surprise for later.
Behind the mark is right here, so I want to just kind of pick up some stuff. No, thank you. You're beneath me, nuke at level 3. Sure. I guess the benefit of no overworld in this location is that I can't accidentally step out of Elfland.
Matoya has the herb.
Oh, we had temper sticks, right? I don't need that. See, that was a very dangerous statement I just made, is that, oh, we have this item on the weapon magic, I don't need that. But the reality is, you will often run out of spots with so much good weapon magic that it becomes a hassle to figure out which 3 you wanted, or which 4, rather. Oh. I don't really have enough to sell.
You have stuff on the fighter, and like you have extra armor to like the opal shield.
Let's see. I don't think it's gonna be enough, but I'll do it anyway.
Heck that opal gear.
Pro ring +6. I'm not dying. It's fine. I think it was like 22k, right?
I might have been higher.
27. Yikes.
Sell the Ice 2 hammer?
Yeah, I'll find something. That's a big hammer.
Yeah, because it was the Thor hammer as a base. Yeah, Thor or Ale knew that was going to be the play. So
yeah, it's not something I think about as to which gear it is. I'm just looking for the quick option. But I think that is often overlooked. It's like, I want this shop item. I value that more than I value a pro ring. I value that more than I value pretty much any of my weapons here.
I think that's especially true in this mode, because you don't know when you're going to have a reason to route back something.
Right. So I know we had the crown. I want to get that out of the way before I tackle Kraken. Oops, don't need to go there. I think one of these leads me to Marsh Cave, so...
It does, and it leads you like very close to the incentive location. Asto's taking 2 nukes. What is this?
That's a Masa. So we've got a heal Masa -2. Where am I giving it to? I guess
probably on the fighter in the lit 3 slot? Yeah.
Is it this way? I think it's this way?
Yes, it's left 2. To the question in chat from that guy C-Dude. The vehicles are key items, but there's only 2 of them. You're going to survive the zombie apocalypse.
You know what? I am not risking whatever they might have.
Fair.
This is unfortunate. All right, whatever. We'll just go back to Matoya, I guess. There's so much fun stuff I wanted to show off, but it's like, I really should be following these quest chains.
The worst part is knowing that Matoya has the... real quick, just show off the stairs here on the right, because we haven't seen that yet. Hey, look, it's Marsh Attic.
Marsh Top. And then Marsh Top leads us back to Marsh Split, which I guess I can show you anyway, because it has 2 extra features, although I unfortunately don't have the key yet, do I?
You do not.
So this is going to force me to go to Marsh Bottom, because that is our only other entrance. We've seen both entrances to Marsh now. Here we have a key-locked entrance that takes us back to Canaria, and on the other side is a key-lock entrance that takes us back to the armory in Elf Castle.
Yep. You just kind of burrow your way into the closet there.
Oh, jeez. I didn't realize I got poisoned. Yeah, we can take the long way down again. No, we can't. I lied. What am I doing here? I'm not doing this again. Remember that time I nuked the zombies?
Yeah, I remember.
All right. Come on. What is this thief doing with 80 agility? That's not much. This is just spite now.
Sometimes you get that sort of encounter table in horrible location like Mark.
So, in general, if I wasn't trying to show off that split on Marsh anyway, right? Like, I'm probably warping back out and finding other places to go. But given the fact that all of the encounters are going to happen in dungeons, you want to do as much travel as you can in these kind of in-between zones. So, let's do that. And then I'll show you this fancy Northwest Castle taking us to a very modified Ordeals. This one, minor stuff. Did we get the did get the ruby? Oh, we didn't yet.
No.
All right, so I guess I'm not dealing with Titan. That gets us back to Sarda. Up here, interestingly, takes us all the way to Gaia, which I'm not going to really explore right now.
You just jumped to the Bahamut cave.
I'm going to save there. Oh, I forgot the. You're right. The bottom entrance to Gaia could be anything, even a Bahamut. And it is. Might as well get this out of the way. Now, at this point, I don't actually want to exit out, so let's get us back. Oh. Did I?
You reset.
Oh, I reset. I reset.
Ouch.
No, I'm not doing that.
Re-promotion.
Yes.
Emphasis on the re.
I think that this will be quicker than having to go back to where I was.
I think so. I think you're right.
All right, let's just walk this up.
Yeah, only one warp, please. So now that you're in Gaia, where would you like to go?
I actually do want to go to... Oh, interesting. I was going to say I want to go to Ordeals, so I'm going to go to Ordeals first. And then I'll come back around, because we have the chime in the cube, right? So that's Kraken. And Tia.
Do you have the chime? I know you have the cube.
Oh, I saw the hint for the chime. Who had the chime?
I don't remember. That's the problem with hint givers.
I mean, that's the problem with talking on stream and doing a weird mode. And
True.
What? This thief is cursed. I actually don't mind this encounter, though.
I don't mind it in the context of you just promoted, and anything that gets you, the spell slots now.
I'm not entirely convinced I'm about to use these spell slots with 4 nuke casters.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'll stand here and pretend like I was figuring out which pillars I wanted to take. Ah, man. Yeah, so fortunately the pillar mazes aren't something that gets added into anything crazy with no overworld. Please just let me get through this. It's going to be so exciting when this is the dud item.
right? In my experience, it's almost always the Lefenish man, but it could be something else this time around.
Too good. Gersharks are the biggest bait. I was like, oh, I'm going to nuke these for what, 500 XP?
I don't mind them, but
Yeah.
I follow where you're coming from on.
I'd like them with a big eye.
Yep.
I should check the weapon shop. Not going to fear anything anytime soon. 60 heal pots, I might as well pick them up while I'm here.
See, I am of the mindset that heal pots are not worthwhile as long as you have ethers and dry ethers. Because you have heal 3.
Yeah, I suppose so. I have the heal 3 stick. I'd probably just move that around if I needed to. I can't go back to Titan, so we're going to go back via Astos here.
So this is where the world starts getting complicated.
Yeah.
Were you concerned before? Well, you should be a little bit more concerned now. Where does this go?
Oh, yes. The town of Onrak, because obviously underneath the frozen cave is this lush ocean.
Yes. Worth noting that there is an incentive item here.
Because of course there is.
Of course there is.
I don't believe we've seen the hint for this. So
I
I'm hoping we have
agree.
the key. I'm not going to skip bubbles. I might even also take out legendary. Unfortunately, I'm also not checking a lot of these chests because I wasted so much time in Marsh. But I probably, in most runs, am not checking all of these chests either. Maybe these two.
Hey, a ribbon is good.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, here's your bubbles. Psych. No, there's no way I'm missing that Cure 4 stick.
And you did it for the fans anyway.
All right, let's see. Where am I going now? I guess Kraken is the obvious answer here.
Kraken's the obvious answer into Mysterious Stairs.
Yep, that's what it's looking like. If I have enough health to get me through it.
I believe.
That makes one of us.
Hey, think about it like this. The ambush rates are, randomized among the formations and all that, and you've seen so many of them already that they just can't be here, right?
That is promising.
So the super secret stairs at the end of this whole shebang, once we've made some sashimi and checked out, whatever else we need to check out around here, that's going to be where things get really entertaining to me. Because that's where the joy of Nova World really happens in my mind.
I mean, the true joy is the madness that is shuffle, but
yes, that also it is compatible with floor shuffle.
You get some horizontal flips, some floor shuffles, moved staircases. It's great.
It's practically a different game.
It's so different, you wind up in an overworld lake sometimes.
Yes. Lake Shumbabi is a wonderful place.
that I will try to avoid going ever again. Joking aside, I really do love the floor entrance shuffle on this, though. It makes for some very interesting routing decisions.
Hi, Kraken.
At this point, I might as well have just taken 4 red mages. That's silly. That's just silly. I don't like it.
Just throw the fish in the microwave. It's fine.
So again, Cardia behind this, but this one happens to be a not so dead end. I forgot that they move a box here. Convenient to know if you have a loose flag set. It actually does come into play sometimes that you miss this box. Although I wish I hadn't stepped in there because now I can't warp.
It's okay.
If I had an X ether.
Yeah, that's actually a huge call out. When you get starting spells on characters, getting a couple X ethers so you can recharge those slots is very nice.
Alright, so we're going to backtrack through Kraken's room, which is something you almost never do. Yeah, I just don't want to risk not running from these at this point.
Yep. Even if they're not worth a lot of experience relative to other encounters here, they pinch. They pinch very hard.
You know what? I'm okay with 3k for a single pack.
Yeah, the danger of it, though, is really...
And you were mocking my heal potions.
Yeah, because I would have healed 3 twice and then threw some dry ethers at it.
What is this?
It's a mysterious staircase.
Into the desert.
Yeah, totally logical.
We're going to go with greater then.
Yeah.
I don't want to be less than.
And good news, we have a cube.
Yes, we do have a cube. I didn't have a chime, but I had another way to get in here.
And this is why I really like this area, is you can end up with really interesting puzzles to solve based on how the items lead you places. Especially since Sky is incentivized here, so...
Yes. That's the real reason I'm here. I'm still looking for this key. I really want to get around with that.
Oh, you know where the key is. It's at the vampire chest.
Oh, is that where we got the clue for Earth?
Yeah.
Oh, so I need a rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because nobody likes to double dip Earth. Even in vanilla.
No way I'm doing that. Oh, I do need that.
Yeah,
Did I get a bottle? Did I forget I had a bottle? No? I haven't seen Melmond, but I know where it is.
There was a hint for the bottle. I think it's in Canaria Castle Lock.
Oh, I could do the elf prince also.
Yes. Oh, we forgot about that when we were coming here. Whoops.
It's okay. As long as my white mage survives, which now is going to be a big ask. But,
well, so the good news is the Warmech is patrolling.
And I do see it.
Yeah. Convenient. Realistically, though, you could take the Warmech after Tia, and worst case scenario, you just
save on game over.
The save. Yeah.
I do have exit at this point. I have my X ether. So, I mean, for the fans, I'll do the Warmech. Why not? I'm just trying to get a little bit extra health on us for getting into Topher. Topher, as it stands, is going to look like 4 nuke sticks to me, I think. I do have fast. I had those temper swords that I bought. I suppose Chaos would look like that. But right now, my plan is I'm just going to try to nuke down our fiends. We have low scaling.
Absolutely.
But I do want to point out that I'm at 36 minutes right now, right? I've lit, 2 orbs? 1 orb?
2 orbs.
2 orbs. Already starting to get that, like, what is my win condition? How am I playing Topher? Since I get that key especially. What do I need? There's a weird lack of confirm after the ether. I think that's what throws me off.
I mean, it's just a potion, right?
Does it behave the same way? I feel like there's one input that's off. It could just be all mental.
I think it's all just mental. I like how Tiamat cast fast, as though Tiamat was going to have the opportunity to swing.
All right, buddy, let's see what happens.
We've gone to McDonald.
Ooh, that power word, though. Probably should have had a ribbon.
I mean, you have a ribbon somewhere.
Yeah, I just haven't gone into my equipment menu yet.
This, by the way, is why Shumbabi is a champion level runner. Why do I need to go into my equipment? Nah, we're not in Topher yet.
See, now I have the unfortunate case of... Oh, I guess I have an X ether. Of, like, not being able to exit. But there we go. Get us back towards Elfland pretty quickly. I think there were X ethers for sale here.
We've reached the infinite wealth stage of our game.
Yes, just the buy everything because it's there. How do I want to get to...
You want to go through the dwarves.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
And frankly, we're at a stage where maybe... Well, I guess we do need to check Elf Prince first, but getting rapidly to that point where you're like, do I just need to go into... I don't know what you're doing.
Because I had thought to myself, I should probably turn in the slab while I'm here.
Yes. Should also find out what the hint giver tells us in case we find out what the dud is.
Just give me quad X. I just want quad X. Oh. Okay. I guess I'm just not casting life this game.
Yeah, who needs life? Overrated.
Thanks. Super useful. Alright. So, where was I intending to go from there? Dwarfs go up to...
Oh, I guess this is Crescent to Volcano.
Yeah, I didn't want to go through
Ice to Elf?
Yeah, that's looking like what I'm doing. Which now sounds like Marsh would have been... Oh, come on. This is exactly what I was worried about.
Ah! There is one of the sages that you can NPC guillotine. You never know if he's the one.
Oh, sorry. I thought I'm like looking at my other screen to try to see where I want to go with this. This is such a convoluted way to get back there. I believe it's probably fewer steps than that marsh cave with all the ambushes, though.
Yeah, that's the real problem. But this is really, to me, like, the fun part, right? Like, there's the flood of items that you get when you've got all of the really tight locations, but then you get to a point where you have to really puzzle out, wait, how do I get to this place? What is my actual method of getting to where I need to be? And
I do wish that I hadn't forgotten the herb, because that is obviously the big, how do I save time here? For those of you that are looking at this, it's like, so you mean every new item I get, I'm going to have to spend 20 minutes? No, this is very atypical. In the sense that, like, you could have routed this in sooner.
Right.
All right.
The other thing is, I mean, the refusal to double dip. Actually, the ruby opens up a pathway too. That's handy, but not what we needed.
Yeah, that's not what we need, because we've already got that. I guess I've got Lefane now, right?
We've got Lefane, and we've got the key in
Adamant.
Earth. Oh, and the Adamant. We forgot the Adamant.
Forgot the Adamant. How am I doing this? Who's even playing this game right now? All right, this will be a quick one.
Walked right by it again. Jeez.
Something champion. Ha, that's right.
Oh, yeah, that's where that hint was for the chime.
This Shumbabi is coming off of a sinus infection, so that Shumbabi is in peak physical condition.
All right, time to find the stairs to Lefane again. Or did we ever find them?
We never saw them. No. I'm just going to start wandering the waterfall.
Yeah, this is the glorious part where we get to explore all the areas we never saw and you never ever see.
That's it. We should just call this Explorer Fall.
So one very important call out on the way that the map edits work on this. And this is probably a thing that needs to be brought up in the dev channel at some point, whatever. If you are coming to Onrak via Sea Shrine and you do not have the Oxyale, don't go in there because you will soft lock yourself. The NPC for the Oxyale is unfortunately standing immediately adjacent to the submarine. Hey!
Okay.
It's exactly what I said.
So this is going to be Earth Cave for key. We come back to Canaria Lock. Then we go
To Gaia.
To Gaia with the bottle. Then we get our rod, and we come back to Earth. Very interesting.
It's a good one you rolled for yourself, Shum.
Yeah. Thanks, me. I did everything possible to avoid this double dip into Earth. Adding 20 minutes to our game.
So we had previously mentioned the key opening up some highways and byways, so to speak. And most definitely it saves some time on that front, because one of the faster ways to get to Elf is through the key. There's a locked door. You can just head through, and it cuts Marsh basically to like 1/4 its size, 1/5, because you're only on the split floor, and it's the 2 locked rooms that Shum showed off earlier in the run.
So once I open that, I'll show that off, because I do have to make my way back to Gaia, and so that's actually going to be the quickest way back.
So if you have the chime, the notable thing there is Gaia has a robot in it near the ferry, and that is how you get to Mirage 1. Just trying to think of exit, NPCs and items that matter. Basically everything is going to, lead somewhere. So yeah, there's our tunnel through to Elfland. I don't know why we're going this way, though.
Because Elfland is going to take us to Northwest Castle, which takes us to Gaia.
Yeah, but you didn't stop in Canaria Locked yet.
Oh. Thanks. That would do it. Getting ahead of myself.
But hey, you got to show off the shortcut.
I did, so that I could take the long cut back. I thought to myself, why am I not going around this? Oh yeah, because the ladder's down here. Being petty now.
That is one of the more humorous warps that you've done in this particular seed.
It is a practice that I had to like drill into my head though, is this: if I have warp, don't take those extra steps. Just get back. Because there's a lot of maps, even in vanilla play, where that happens and you just forget that you have it, and it just eats up seconds here and there. That said, I should have a spell charge, but I don't. I do. I have
Ethers.
I guess the quickest way back is still through that. All right, so we are just in go mode now, on our way to finish the game. Because, of course, Lich is the last fiend that we should have.
Oh, of course.
It is getting to the point, though, that I'm not even thinking about the maps at this point. I'm just sort of like, oh yeah, of course, this is going to be over here. It happens a lot quicker, I think, than people realize. So that once you start navigating this, you're like, you get a feel for generally where these are going to put you.
Absolutely. And the locations are relatively logical. I think that the connectors are well placed in that regard. It's just learning where those new staircases are, where they're going to bring. Question in chat, did you miss anything interesting yet? I mean, you missed like 48 minutes of a no overworld seed. So, I mean, I think it's interesting. You get to puzzle good in these. What, the ribbon is equipped?
I just remembered mummies, I think, have crack.
Oh.
Or maybe it was Wiz mummies, but one of the mummies had them. And I wasn't about to wipe. We saw it very early on with the waterfall.
Oh yeah, the thing that basically sent you back home.
Yes. Yeah. I believe from this point on, we're looking at some pretty standard play. I would say that things to concern yourself with are all the Fiend dungeons, seeing as they end in a Cardia or its own treasure room for Tiamat's case. If you don't have an exit caster, you are unwinding the entirety of each Fiend dungeon because the portal doesn't exist behind your orb light. So, yeah, just be kind of mindful of that you don't want to get stuck in here for the extra 5 floors.
Yeah, that's absolutely a solid call out. Telemagic or, free exit or free warp, very important. Low level warp exit, very important. I mean, at this point, we're basically cosplaying Lich 2 from the vanilla game as we nuke everything in our path.
I'm just gonna... This is really a recon run. Just gonna throw nukes out and see what happens. If I have to...
there's not really a reason to do anything else.
Yeah, I don't know that I have to change my strategies here. Maybe buy more heal sticks? I don't know. Level 25. Yeah, this seems fairly nice. The item magic really helps with this.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing also with the ethers is spells are infinite. Like once you get out of combat, you're able to spam ethers wherever you are, and the hardest part is just keeping your mages up.
The
Was
thief
that a
still has the
quad
ribbon.
X thrown at the ribbon-wearing thief?
Yes, thank God. I was like, totally forgot to move it, but that lucked out big time.
Well, I mean, you don't have a life cast, so... it's good for the quad X to be gone now.
Yeah, I mean, because that's going to hit on any one of these at under 600 health.
Damage poison.
You see, I have a white mage. You could just hit it. Fine. Oh, that's the wrong thing.
Ow. All these low-roll nukes to go with it, too.
All right. I don't think I got any ruse weapons, right? Nope.
Well, worst case scenario, there is a there's ruse weapons in Canaria.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're just gonna do that. Huh, okay. All right, I might be resetting this one.
Well, just, rather than reset,
Yes.
let it kill you. Keep the levels.
Oof. Sure. I did have a cure for somewhere. Who was that on? The fighter?
The white mage. The fighter probably had the cure 4 stick, but the white mage has cure 4. Certainly has the charges for it.
Hey, we made it. Kind of.
Hooray!
What do I need? I should probably have heal 3 still. You need lock 2. I'll take lock 2 also. I'll put Saber in slot 1 for you. It's fine. I know that gets people a little testy. What magic
a little
do you have?
riled up.
Oh,
yeah.
you do have life. Nice.
Oh,
I just noticed I had level 8 charges. I was like, why do I have level 8? Oh, you had life also. Cool. Good to know. Now that we're 54 minutes in at the end of the game. We're going to do that, though.
Well, we're committed on this ninja strat. I mean, being fair to the commenters in chat, one of the things we skipped over was talking about the blursings and party selection this seed. Whoops.
Yeah, I noticed the clean magic, and I forget what clean magic actually means.
It's usually you get like pure and soft and something garbage, but it does have life and life 2 in the pool. It is removal of status, and death is a status.
Okay, guess I'll just sit there. Hey, it's a game.
GG! Still sub-hour.
Yeah, that was a little rough on that extra little marshy bit I did, and all the forgetting the incentives. But even so, I mean, right, Nova World is just so much quicker, and it catches a lot of flack. Undeserved, I think. It's a lot of fun to play this mode.
I think the folks who dislike it they're missing out in the sense that this provides a different set of puzzles. And to me, I like feeling clever. I like feeling like I've figured out some clever route through the entire experience. And that's really what sells the mode to me.
Right. I think I've done a lot of talking recently on looking for alternative ways in which you can demonstrate challenge without necessarily just relying on scaling. And certainly, floor shuffle is a very common one, but by putting all the floors together in a very known state, but having it be a slightly different state, is certainly one of those ways to ramp up challenge, as you said, in a different way to solve a different puzzle. And it really does have you feeling clever when you start making some of these loops and you do remember your key item turn-ins and they just sort of all domino down and you find that this seed actually, I think anybody who just watched the whole thing, if you actually took notes as to where those incentives were, this is, I would dare say, doable in 35 minutes, maybe 40. 40 is like definitely doable. 35 might be pushing it, but I think it's also doable because it's just so quick to navigate. And if you make the right choices and find those choices, right? Like it's not just gambling on them. It's that you can deliberately access certain things at certain times. You wind up having a lot of fun with this.
Absolutely. Ale calling out the busting into Sky without the chime because you took the shortcut in Kraken's floor. Flip side, it's also funny busting into Kraken floor because you had the chime, but not the Oxyale. And then you're like, oh, well, I'm going to just quick do this boss, and then I'm going to warp, and then I'm going to walk up and take care of Tia, and I'm going to exit. Like,
I mean, but that's assuming that you have a cube, right? Like you could very well just say, I have a chime, I'm going to Kraken, and then I'm looting mermaids and finding something. So There's a lot of possibility with this.
So I love this mode, and I'm really happy that I could make the time to showcase it and have Shumon to, be the advocate that he is for the mode.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
I really hope that everybody enjoys the async when we get that up tomorrow.
Yes, please play it. Let's get some runners more familiar with this so we can have some real fun.
All right. Well, I think that about covers it for me. Shum, did you have any other final thoughts?
No, that's really it. Just thank you. Thank you for having me here tonight. This was a blast to do. I love hanging out with you guys. Asloto, thank you for the restream, and RPG Limit Break, thank you for hosting. And I hope we were able to put on a decent show and learning experience at the same time. And yeah, I'm looking forward to everybody running this on the async and seeing what you can do.
All right, well, it is time to talk calendar real quick. So tomorrow we've got our async weekly going up in the morning. We got the weekly race going on these flags tomorrow night. Friday, very big day because it is the first race of the Duck Derby. If you are in Group A, look forward to seeing you here at 10 p.m. Eastern. Maybe not like here on the RPG Limit Break. I can't remember which channel it's going to be on. We have that somewhere. Don't worry. But 10 o'clock, we're going to, on Friday night, have Group A doing their race for the first week of the boot camp, or the Derby flags, which I believe is floaterless. Yeah, that's going to be fantastic. I think that as a result, we're pushing the VOD review to Saturday. I believe Fry Teeth is running that. Then Sunday, no reveal stream. We're done with the boot camp, but we got Group B. That's going to be 11:30 a.m. Sunday for their race of their floaterless steed. And we're going to just keep rolling on from there. So it's going to be Fridays and Sundays are the big nights for the Duck Derby. Well, night and day. So definitely check that out if you are a viewer. We'll be getting the announcements out in the race announcements channel as usual with the spectator role tagged, and you get to check out this hot duck race in action. Yeah, it's going to be really weird now not having my usual Sunday and Wednesday cadence as this boot camp has wrapped up. We get to watch the ducks throw wings, I guess. throw bills? I don't know.
Sure.
How do ducks fight?
I don't know that they do. Not so
Yeah.
much. But they'll swim together, and some will rise to the top for sure.
Yes. Some will just paddle those little web feet a bit faster than others. It's just how it is. But we look forward to everybody competing. I hope everybody has a good time with the Derby. And yeah. Thank you again to Shimbabi for running tonight, Osloto for the restream, RPG Limit Break for letting us put on the show here, and everybody that's been supporting the program of our Duck Bootcamp from the community. It's been just fantastic having so much support this year, and looking forward to everything that comes from now on. Keep in mind also, if you run anything and everything randomizer, we're looking for more submissions for the marathon that happens. I believe that's June 14th through the 16th. So if you have a randomizer you want to show off, maybe even a ROM hack, who knows? But, put in a submission for the marathon, because we are going to raise money yet again for the Liam Foundation this June. And I think that about covers it for me. So with that, I'm going to let you all go. Have a good night, everybody.